Okay, let's see here. So I did a little bit of work off camera again. It's kind of a busy, interruptive week. There were a handful of just stupid, annoying bugs that weren't really conducive to streaming. And the other major thing I did off camera was I modified the battle screen loop to make it possible to either move and attack in any order or rebalance your unit power. So that now, to my knowledge, works the way I want it to work. So that means there's really, I think, only one primary feature left to implement beyond, build the rest of the game, and that's the targeting menu and the real attack mechanic. And I think a lot of that is going to be kind of a copy and paste from the targeting menu, so we might get lucky and maybe that won't take too long to do. And then after that is in place, that's the foundation for the whole game. So then it's time to fix some annoying bugs and just improve the handling of things a bit and create like a proper reusable mechanism for animations, because I only have like a handful of animations now and I know the implementation is poor. It's just some crap I slapped together. So we need to fix that. And then the last challenge will be, one way or another, we need to figure out how to make the AI here, but that's going to be a whole project. But for tonight, I think I just want to get the attack menu in place, and maybe the attack functionality itself, at least in like a kind of a basic form. There might be some game design nuance to that I want to think about, but I should be able to get something as a placeholder installed. So let's see. Yeah, here, let's just commit this. And then check out a new branch here. We'll call it targeting menu, I guess. And let's see. So like I said, I think we can and should make the targeting menu look and behave a lot like the balance menu. So let's just go ahead and copy that thing. Menu balance will be menu targeting. Trivial, I'm going to call it target, actually. Menu target.lua. And then, we gotta include that. Get it actually in the game. And then let's see. Oh. Menu target. Yeah, okay. So I guess first thing, let's, like we did last time with the balance menu, let's rip out this update functionality and just get this thing to display. I'm just going to comment this out because, again, I'm pretty sure we're going to want a very similar code structure. I need to rename this guy. And this isn't right, but let's leave it here. Let's comment that out. That way we'll see a visible difference between the targeting and the balance menus. So, So here, we don't want to do this attack anymore. Instead, we want to display the targeting menu. And I'm not sure... See, this might be a little bit tricky. I was thinking about this tonight. I almost wish I'd used some cleverer evented architecture and write in this thing or something, but I didn't, so we'll deal with it. But some of this is going to be kind of weird because we have to juggle game state across 2 different loops or something. I guess we'll worry about that in a minute. So we display the targeting menu. Oh, the other thing I did off camera too now is when you move one unit, all the other units deactivate for the remainder of that turn. When you move or attack with a unit, the other units deactivate. So that's now how we want it to be. Let's comment this stuff out, because again, I think there's actually complexity here. I'm pretty sure. And then we need to get this menu wired up next to the other menus in the battle screen loop. So balance menu, target menu, you're going to want some unit. I don't know which. This might be a little tricky. And then balance menu draw, target menu draw. So now I think we can pretend to attack and at least see this other menu appear. Oh, that was the other thing I did too. I just did a bunch of dumb crap off stream. So now these are laid out, you know, somewhat more attractively, these interstitials here. Then the lore mipsum, you know, I'll replace with some bit of plot or whatever when I think about it, but that's not where we are yet. So we can balance the unit. Oh, and the other thing I also changed off stream is now you can confirm or cancel this balance. So I'll cancel this. We can see the radius goes back, or I'll make that change again. Likewise, too, now when you drop your attack power to 0, the attack radius goes away because you can't attack with no attack power. So let's confirm that rebalance. The enemy unit moved. I realize there's also a bug now in how the radii are computed that I need to change, I need to fix. So what am I doing here? Okay, so now I've moved and I want to attack this guy, and if we got it right, I'm going to click on him and see a menu. No, I'm going to get a crash. Okay. Did I... Okay, whoops. That's soft locked, so what does that mean? Menu target.viz, target update. Menu target draw. I guess it's not self unit probably, because there is no unit. Probably it. Now, yeah, so here's one of the challenging questions we have to solve right away is how do we pass the targeted unit into this thing? It's gonna like have to be through the cursor selection, so I might need to change some of this logic a bit. See, this is again kind of where I wish I had like a more event-driven architecture, even though that would be complicated in its own way too. I hate this, I think, but let's just do this maybe. Menu target dot unit is unit. I'm wondering if the so I was reading about it. It looks like in Pick 08 the idiomatic way to do animations is with coroutines, and I'm wondering if that might give us a cleaner way to do these submenus and stuff too, because it's kind of fundamentally the same problem, I think. But again, we're not going to worry about that now. We're going to write some bad code tonight and sort it out later. So and actually I should be able to put that back, I think. Yeah, okay. Let's see what that does for us. Okay, there's our attack menu. So that's correct. And now, you know, I want to do two things here, and we basically get it for free. I want to display the enemy's stats, and we can see them there. And I want to give the player the opportunity to choose which stat to attack. So we need to get the update loop going. The other thing I want to do too is just, before we make that work, let's make that a little prettier. Also, depending on how similar these menus end up, I might refactor them both a little bit to try to move the common code into some function somewhere. Just dry out the code a little bit. Or I may not. We'll see. But let's see, how did I wire this up? Align the menu to the camera. Menu dimensions. We were what? 10 pixels too tall, maybe? I think I did all the math dynamically, if I remember right. Damn it. Let's put 2 pixels back, 28. Something else we need to do later is give the player some kind of indication of what the buttons do at the different times. So I don't know if I don't think I can fit the words confirm and cancel in the menu, so I'm thinking I might, like Advance Wars does, I think, put some persistent bar at the bottom of the screen to just tell you what the buttons do based on the cursor position at the moment or something. But anyway, that looks right. That visually looks good. So now let's put this put these update controls back. The only other thing I might do, but I don't think I care about this tonight, is I might spend time to indicate to the player, you know, how much harm their attack would do to the enemy's stat. But I don't know if I will. And the other decision I need to make, just gameplay-wise, too, is do I want damage to have a random component to it? And tentatively, I think I do. I think a little bit of randomness can make the game more interesting. And then another question is, do I want, you know, terrain to provide defense bonuses? And I think I probably do. And then I also need to decide, do I want, like, you know, evasion to be a thing? Do I want it to be possible to miss, right? And another idea I had is, if evasion is in the game, do I want to make that a function of how many tiles the enemy unit moved, either last time it moved or during the prior turn? Because that might be kind of interesting, is if you have a unit that you're moving really fast, it becomes harder to hit, versus a unit that's standing still, has no evasion. I think that might be mechanically interesting, though I don't know if that's over complicated or too subtle or something. I'm not sure. But let's see. So okay, so this update, we'll just put all this back and then rip out what we don't want. So if Z is pressed, we hide the menu, we clear the targeted unit, because there is no targeted unit if this menu goes away. We don't want to change the radius, that comes out. Do I need to do this unit clone thing? I don't think I do. Wait. No, okay. Okay, whatever. That just isn't relevant here. With the stat selector, up and down I do want. Left and right, this goes away entirely. You can't adjust anything here. I don't think that does anything. Anything relevant. And this will come back to. So what are we doing? We think we should be able to close the menu now and unselect the targeted unit and move the stat selection up and down. Let's see if that still works. Yes, it does. So I can choose the target, and I can close the menu. So that works. So this is all trash. That is trash. Works, works. Okay, so now here's where this gets tricky. Maybe it doesn't. It gets ugly. It doesn't get tricky, it gets ugly. I think we want to take all of this code and kind of unfortunately move it into here. And again, I might kind of fundamentally rethink this architecture now. Just because I don't like this. But I don't know. So what are we doing? We hide this menu, and then deactivate all other units belonging to the player. But now instead of self.cell, this is cursor cell units deactivate turn player. And again, I'm not thrilled about these globals everywhere, but again, we'll clean it up as we go. Yeah, this all comes out. Self.cell exhausted is now cursor cell exhausted, turn end, race update. Self.cell is cursor cell, map current, map player. That actually seems fine, except we also need to attack the unit. Self.cell, cursor cell. I think that's correct. IDX. Yeah, that's gross. This is super gross. Unit shouldn't be unit anyway. That should be self.unit. And I guess, God, let's just be disgusting. Menu target. Target IDX is IDX? I don't know. Menu target IDX. Sure, whatever. Which means we do that. And then this is self.idx. I mean, that's disgusting, but again, Write it now, refactor it later. Menu target update, that's not a thing, there's no parameter there. Okay. Okay. Now let's see, let's test this on map 2. What we should see, because attack is still a stub, we should see that the unit just gets deleted. So attack would be the next thing to work on. But we should be able to attempt to attack a unit and then cancel. And attempt to attack unit and confirm and then just delete the unit. So let's try that on map 2, because we want a few units. That's another bug too. It's like the first time you do something on a map, the camera doesn't go to the enemy. It's kind of weird. So I go to attack, the menu works, I cancel, I go to attack, I choose a stat, he deletes. Oh yeah, another bug too. The cursor doesn't come back to my guy when it's my turn, I don't know why. Attack, move, yeah, that works. And there, you know, like I said, it's time to do animations soon. Obviously, what I don't want is, you know, immediately delete a unit, immediately go to the next stage. We're going to have a laser fire and an explosion and then like a victory banner fly out or something. But not there yet. But okay, so the targeting menu is done. I'm not proud of the code, but it does work. Let's take a look at that diff. We added menu target to our linter globals. We created a new file and we've included it into the app. Cursor update, we moved a bunch of logic out of cursor update and into the new menu. Screen battle. Useless comment. We added an update check for the targeting menu, and we're drawing the targeting menu. Okay. And now I guess let's implement like a real attack method. So we don't just delete guys like we do now, because that's kind of dumb. So we want our targeting menu, and we want unit, and attack, and die. Yes, that's a stub. Okay. So again, one of the fundamental ideas here is that you're going to be able to attack not just a unit, but a system on that unit. You know, movement, or attack power, or attack range. So obviously we're going to need to track not only the unit, but the targeted system. So let's do that here, I guess. Target, I guess we'll call it stat, which will take a value stored where self.cell no self choices self cell. Yeah. Self choices self cell. Just make sure we didn't break anything. Oh, and then we need not only I guess we need the attack value. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot to refactor here. Let's say target, stat, attack, index. So target, stat, attack will be cursor.cell.stat.attack. And I think what I want the logic to be is that for now, no, let's not think about terrain, defense, or evasion. Let's start really simple. And let's just say first, let's just plainly subtract the attacker's attack power from the target's stat. And then if it overflows, we'll then blow up some other stats and stuff. So, okay. First step. We don't target.die anymore. I'm almost tempted to break this out into unit attack and unit damage or something, but I guess not yet. So let's see. For now, let's do target stat equals target stat minus attack. Yeah, there's logic to some logic here. Oh, and likewise, target power. What I call that? PWR? Yes. Target power is target power minus attack. We have to keep those in sync. Then we need to handle overflows and crap. And if target dot power is less than or equal to 0, kill it. So let's test just this, and then we'll handle overflows and stuff. Oh, I also should, you know what I should do? I should make the targeting menu accessible on a double click on a unit. Yeah, something else I added offline is the ability to view an enemy's movement radius. Well, that's going to conflict with something. So I want you to be able to do two things, I think. One is I want you to be able to make a toggle a permanent view of the enemy's movement and attack radii on and off. That's something that is in Fire Emblem Three Houses, and I thought that was a really nice quality of life thing, because so much of playing these games is about, you know, responding to the opponent's, you know, positions of the radii. And it's annoying to have to just keep it in your head. So I want that, but I also want to be able to view a... I think I want you to be able to view a unit's power allocation. I don't know. I need to think about that. Again, the difficulty here, I think the primary limitation of pick a weight that I've been running into is that I only have 2 buttons to work with. So I'm having to really kind of overload these buttons, and I don't want to stack too much complexity on just 2 buttons, or otherwise it'll become unmanageable. And I think right now what I have is actually pretty intuitive, but I don't want to overdo it. Right, I'm yapping. We need to test this. So let's see. Let's take this guy. Let's balance him so he has an attack of 1. And let's target this guy's attack, and he's at 5, so we hit him and the whole game blows up. Unit 83. Attempt to perform arithmetic on a nil field. Okay. It's not target stat, it's target stat. Which stutters, but I think it's actually correct in this case. Our attack is 1. His attack is 5. We attack with an attack of 1. We hit him, he moved. His attack is 4, so that works. Okay, cool. That's like the game there. It's now a game that you can play, at least in 2-player, given that that is there now. Let's pour a little coffee here. So the next thing that needs to happen is if you overflow on a unit, like let's say his attack power is 3 and I hit him for 5. I think what I want is that to overflow. So it would just hit, you know, the next available stat or whatever. Or possibly a random stat. I almost like the random thing better. So let's see though. So that gets a little bit complicated because you can't necessarily overflow onto the next stat because there could be one stat already blown out. Or you might blow out. Like if we have a guy with 3 health, a target with 3 health, and our attack power is, well no, let's say he has 4 health and our attack power is 3 or something, we might actually blow out 2 stats. So I guess we could use recursion. That might be a good place to use recursion. Yeah, recursion with a random target or something. Yeah, that's actually... Yeah, that's recursion we want. I think. Okay. So... What? The first thing we have to track is by how much we overflowed. So let's do that. If target.stat is less than 0, then print h target stat times -1 to put us back into a positive number and say, and that'll be our overflow, and then we'll say target stat is 0 because we don't want a negative value. Let's just watch this operate. So let's go with that. Oh, also, let's see. Oh, this gets a little complicated, I guess. In the targeting menu, you shouldn't be able to target a stat that has a 0 value. So we'll need to account for that. Yeah, okay. That gets a little complicated. Okay, our attack is... Oops. Our attack is 5. His range is 2, so we should see it print out 3. And it did. Okay, good. So... local overflow is equal to this. Compute the damage overflow. Before I forget to do disallow targeting a system with 0 power. Maybe. Do I? I think I want that. I guess it wouldn't really matter, but I think I want that. So we damage our target. Overflow damage if necessary. And then this is where we use recursion. Let's hardcode this real quick. Let's hardcode movement. I just want to make sure this fundamentally works the way I think it should. This is going to crash, or can crash, if die tries to delete a unit that has been deleted. I think that could go wrong. So, what? Self-attack target, and we're going to hard code this to move for the sake of testing. And not attack, overflow, and index. I don't know how to sort that out. Let's not worry about killing this guy yet. I think I'm going to do too, because I'm lazy, is let's move this unit. I don't have to drive all the way over to him. Let's put this guy at 5-5. So our attack is 5. His... Let's attack his range. If this does what I think it'll do, it'll zero out his range and his movement. attack again. Okay, that worked, fundamentally. Now I think this probably crashes. No, it worked. I bet it crashes on map 2. This has to be... There has to be a crash waiting for us in here. Go drive up and blast that guy. Our attack is 5. Okay, I want to blow out his range and movement again. I attack. What was my... Oh, our attack is 4. Okay. I'll attack his attack, and then he should be at 1-1. He exploded. Why did he explode? Our attack is 4. His attack is 5. We'll attack his attack. That was correct. I'll attack his attack again, and what we should see is 0-0 and then a movement of 2. And he exploded. So something isn't correct there. So why does that happen? Just debug this a bit. See what that does. Or it shows us. And likewise, let's modify map 2 and give us a bad guy at 532. So I have to drive around. Where's our guy? Oh, out of bounds. 27, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. So our attack is 5. Let's attack his range. That should blow out range and movement. So what happened? We attacked. Our attack was 5. His power became 5, which is correct. We overflowed by 3, because we attacked his range and it was 2. So then, recursively, we attacked for 3. His power was 2, that's what's happening. We're decrementing. Yeah, okay, that's what's happening. We're counting that power a few times. Yeah, okay, okay. So, okay, we know the problem. Now what do we do about that? Like, the trivial thing to do would be to record if we're calling this recursively. I kind of hate that, but it would solve the problem. Maybe that's not horrible. Let's see what it looks like. Let's say overflow. That'll be a Boolean. I mean, this is horrible, but again, for a first stab at the problem, maybe it's acceptable. So let's say if not overflow, then blah blah blah, and if this is overflow damage, don't subtract from power, right? And then we attack as overflow. So this should work, and then the only thing to do would be replace this with a function that returns, let's say, the first non-zero stat. And then to solve this crashing problem, we probably just move this check higher up, because we don't even care to compute the stat stuff if power is at 0, right? We know it doesn't matter and he explodes, so that's probably how that gets resolved. And that would actually all... Let's move that. I don't usually change two things at once, but... I think this should fix most everything, if not everything. So if it's not overflow damage, we subtract from the power. And then we check to see if we're at 0 power or less. And if we are, we just explode. Otherwise, we just damage the system. And then we check to see if we need to recurse. I think that should work. I think. It won't work fully until that hard coding is away, but we should be able to blow out. We should be able to blow out range and see it work. So our attack is 5. I'm going to attack his range. It should wipe out range and movement and leave him unable to move, but with attack 5. That looks correct. That's correct. And this should just function normally. And it did. Okay, great. So let's go clean that code up a bit. That's still a mess. Get some music going again first. All right. Okay. Record that the unit is attacked. Damage the target. If there's overflow damage, don't subtract from power. This no longer crashes. This is fine. Right? We record that we've taken action. If we're not computing overflow damage, we subtract our attack from the target's total power, and then we check to see if the target's total power is at 0, and if it is, we kill it. And if we get here, we should just return, because we're done. Otherwise, we damage the targeted system. Then we check to see if that damaged system has overflow damage. If it does, we zero it out and we recursively we compute how much overflow damage we've done. And then we recursively attack again. I think that's pretty good. And then this that needs to get changed. Let's make sure I didn't somehow break this, but I don't think I did. Our attack is 5. Blow out his range and movement. Wait, what? I did break it. What did I do? Five, two, three. 523. Why are we not damaging him at all? Oh, this returns in the wrong spot. Only return if it's dead. If it's not overflow damage, subtract our attack from his power. Kill him if he's 0. I think that's correct now. Five, two, three. 5, 2, 3. Attack. Still broken. We didn't overflow that time. Okay. Maybe I should have left this one alone. Oh, obviously. We complete the overflow. Then we zero out the system. Then we recursively attack. Okay, whatever. Five, two, three. Good, good. Okay. So now this thing has to go away. So let's see. We want to call that guy. Functional, I guess, for a functional system. It's probably adequate, I guess, whatever. Unit functional. And let's say stats are attack, range, move, I still haven't memorized that syntax. What is it? Stat val in pairs do pairs in stats, which really, let's just do this. If no. I pairs for don't care stat in I pairs. Those things do if self.stats stat is greater than or equal to 1, then return stat end. So that should so that's always going to go from attack to range to move, which is the order presented in the menu, and I think I like that fine. Random would be fine, this is fine, this is less code, and there are code constraints. Element, how's it going? The game is going reasonably well. I did some work offline, and it looks a lot closer to the intended gameplay. And in fact, I think this is now playable in 2 players, even though it's still, you know, not great, but it's playable. So let me comment this, and I'll show you where we are. Return the first functional unit system. Oh. So now this becomes self-functional. So now this should all work. So in terms of where we are... Oh, okay, or it'll just crash completely. 156. For stat in I pairs do... Oh, this is Lua. Yeah, okay. So in terms of where we are now, the game, you can now move a unit and then attack, and you can do those 2 things in any order. You can move then attack, or attack then move. You can do that, or let me end my turn here. Or you can balance your power. So let's set that to 3 or something. Also, you can now cancel a rebalancing. So, like, I don't like this, so I'm going to cancel that. And you can see that went back. So now what we just did tonight so far is we've implemented a like a menu for targeting enemies and for targeting their subsystems. Now we're just checking to see if we're recursing properly to get damage overflow handled and stuff. So to see what I'm talking about, so we have an attack of 5. Let's make that 4. This will be a better illustration. Let's rebalance this guy to 4. So we want to attack this guy. And now here's our new targeting menu. So now we can choose a stat to attack. And we want to attack range. And our attack is 4. So what we expect to see is range gets blown out, and then he has 1 movement left. Or it crashes again. Attempt index field stats, a nil value, 157. In self stats. Yeah, stat. Balance, our attack is 4. We attack range. We expect to see range 0 and movement 1. So we attacked him. He survived. We attack again. Range 0, movement 3. We overflowed to attack. Attack, range, move. Because he was at... Why did we hit... Oh, it's because it's not the next system, it's the first system. Because I just put those in order. So we overflowed and we hit his attack. So fine, that worked. So now we hit him again for attack 4. We should see attack blows out. And then he's at movement 2. Out of memory. That's not what I expected. Somehow, I guess we recurse crazy or something? That's weird. It has to be this guy. It has to have been recursion gone wrong. I shouldn't have gotten rid of all that debugging. Guess I'll just put it back. Yeah, no Valgrind, unfortunately. That I don't think there's any, like, even breakpoint or anything I could set, which would be nice. But yeah, afraid not. You're on your own with those OMMs? Yeah, I sure am. So we're doing this the low tech way. But I mean, like, almost without question, the problem is here. The problem is always recursion, at least when I'm writing the code. It's some interplay of these two things that isn't obvious to me, but I mean that's like what it has to be, I think. So let's see. Oh, whoops. Yeah, okay. Not overflow. Target power. Just want to attack. Yeah, that would be nice. Like, I was just thrilled to discover this stuff recently, that you can actually write crap to the terminal. For like the first couple weeks I was working on this, I didn't know that was possible. So I rigged up this thing to like to write debug data to the screen, which is still there. This still can be handy, but yeah, just even be able to debug to standard out was like a huge revelation for me. Dead. That should give us an okay picture of what's happening. So, let's see. Where are we? Attack is 5. Let's attack his range. So we would expect this to hit his range for 2 and then overflow on his attack for 3. So it'd be at 203. And we hit him. .203. That was correct. What did this look like? Attacking, not overflow. Attack, power 5. We overflowed 3. Overflowed. Overflow was 3. We attacked his system. We recursively attacked. That all looked correct. So I hit him again. And it works perfectly. Okay. That's not what I wanted. Did I just like not reload the game or something after I had fixed it? Maybe I did something really stupid. Let's hit his attack. 0-0, not overflow, correct. End turn. This should explode him. Hit his range. Correct. His movement. Was that correct? Attacking, not overflowing. Attack 5, power 5. We overflowed 2. His movement was 3. That's correct. We overflowed 2. We hit his attack 3. That's correct. Let's hit his range. Why is this working now? Let me try this on the second map. First, let me hit the bathroom real quick. So like, I don't get it. With this guy, range, no. Did I already do it? I already did it. When we had the failure, I think my attack power was 4. Let's pull that, put it into range. Let's pull, push. Attack is range. So what? Attacking, not overflow. Attack for 4. 6 remains. We overflowed by 2 because we hit his range. We had 4, 2. We overflowed to attack. Remaining is 3. That all sounds correct. Hit his attack. We expect 002. Okay, there's our overflow. So what happened? We're attacking his attack. Oh, yeah. Wait. Not obvious to me. You've never done pick weight, it's an interesting concept. Yeah, I'm fairly new to it. I discovered it maybe, I don't know, a month, 2 months ago or something, and I started this, and it's been a lot of fun. This is the first game development I've ever done at all, excluding a little bit of dorking around with what, like Game Maker 6 15 years ago or something. But yeah, this is my first actual game programming, and it's really fun. Like, here's the unofficial API reference that I work from, and if you take a look at that, you can see, all you really have are a bunch of relatively primitive API functions to work with. So you really get to just build this thing up the way you want. It's not like a Unity or a Godot or something where there's a lot more tooling there. This is, I don't want to say close to metal because there is no metal, right? But you know what I mean. It's relatively low level, and I enjoy that. The other nice thing about it too is that there's an integrated tool for exploring like a library of published games out there. So it's really, both easy and fun just to kind of like see what other people have done and dork around with their stuff and look at the code and hack on it a bit. I started from scratch writing this, but you don't have to do that if you don't want to. It's pretty easy to pick up something that someone else has written and just start hacking on it. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Probably the best $15 I've spent in a very long time in terms of entertainment value per dollar or whatever. So let's see, where did we go wrong here? I don't know if I'll actually be able to go back to the moment it went wrong. No. Okay. Well, I mean, we can tell what happened, right? We're recursing infinitely for some reason. So we say attacking, and it's overflowing. Overflow 1. And then we attack. Okay, so we are attacking attack forever. That's the problem. We're attacking attack forever, so that means unit functional has failed. I think maybe the problem occurs when you do exactly the correct amount of damage to attack. Let's see. I still don't really have this worked out. Let's see what that does. Our attack is 5. His attack is 5. We blast him. Our attack is 5. His attack is 0. If I attack his attack, it works. It's a little weird. My attack is 4. I attack his attack. His attack is 1. I attack it, and then our stack is smashed. So why is that happening? When attack overflows, I get that we blew out attack and we are re-attacking attack, and there's the recursion, but what I don't understand is why functional is returning attack. Oh, wait a minute. Self... It's because self is not... Is self correct? Hang on, maybe this is the problem. What am I calling this? Functional... It's not self-functional. That's the problem. It's target functional. There we go. That's the problem. That's gotta be the problem. I was checking to see if the attacking unit had a functional system when I should have checked the attacked target, obviously. That was just a stupid typo, essentially. Let's set that to 4, because that's what made it go nuts. I'm pretty confident we got it. So 5, 2, 3, we attack his attack. Uh, 1, 2, 3, we attack his attack, and we expect to see 0, 0, 2. We didn't smash or stack. 0, 0, 2, and he should explode, and we win. Okay. Now I feel pretty confident we got that right. Shadowing definition of argument overflow. Unit. Yes, okay. I guess. It makes the winter happy anyway. Okay, let's take a look at that. Oh, take a look at that diff, and I already know I want to back out of the map changes. Not that the maps are, you know, real, really. We still have to answer that question of do we want to disallow targeting a system with 0 power. Kind of seems like we should. But I think I'll do that in another commit. So what did we do? In the targeting menu, we changed the methods, or we changed the arguments passed in to the method because we've changed the attack method. And there we removed our stub. That looks good. So, you know, like I was saying earlier, I still will probably introduce a concept of like terrain defense modifiers and maybe evasion and maybe randomness. Like you do damage within a window of values. Maybe. I'm not sure. I kind of want to just run this for a while though. Because that's all like, that's not really programming at that point, that's more game design. The programming changes will be trivial. Okay. It's pretty good progress for a night. Let's see what else. What's on the roadmap now? Got a movement bug to fix. I don't want to do that tonight because I need to think about that. That's actually going to be a little tricky and will probably intersect with some other changes. The A-star stuff I don't care about right now because that is close enough to working and is kind of in its own little world. I don't really need to fix that now. It's good enough. I feel like these animations are coming maybe next. First thing I need to do is I'll spin up a little lab somewhere off stream and just dork around with the coroutine pattern, lab it out somewhere. I found a white paper on how, you know, according to somebody, the idiomatic way to do this in Pick Await, to do animations in Pick Await. So I'll dork around with that and then revisit some of the hacky kind of stuff I did regarding camera delays and that kind of thing. I'll create some like delay animation or something to handle that instead of what I'm doing now. Screen tear on stage transition. This I need to think about. This I don't know if I care to do anymore. The other thing I want to do soon too, just because it's going to be really fun, is start working on the sound effects for this. Because now I think this game is officially playable, even though there's been zero effort put into the aesthetics or map design. But if you have a player 2, you could now play this as a game. That's pretty cool. And it'll continue to feel more like a game when we can get the sound effects and music in there. I'm working on music for this, but I'm doing it off stream because I'm not a musician and I struggle with this, but it's been fun. I think it's coming all right. So yeah, I think priority is an animation coroutine lab. And let's say sound effects, just because That'll be fun. And the sound effects stuff is like more or less orthogonal to anything else. The implementation is design the sound you want and then somewhere you call a one-liner to play it, so that doesn't really depend on anything else anywhere. The only dependency that has is me setting up a camera on this synth and capturing the audio input, because what I plan to do is kind of experiment with generating sounds on the synthesizer and looking at an oscilloscope on the synthesizer and then porting those waveforms into the Pico 8 sound editor. I think that's probably the best way to approach that, and that should be pretty cool to do. And some of this crap I might just fix off stream, because it's boring. But yeah, okay. Well, that's really good progress. I guess I'll call it there for the night, but yeah, that's cool. This is now a playable game if you got 2 players anyway. Making good progress. Yeah, I think we are. I think we are. I also think the work that is coming up should be pretty fun to do. So, something else I want to start doing now is, you know, if you jump in the map editor here, what I actually need to learn to work this thing. You can see, like, we have a ton of space, right? And the maps that I have, I spend literally 5 minutes on. I mean, there wasn't any thought. Like, map 3 isn't playable because there aren't flying units, at least yet. So the next thing to do, or one of the next things to do, is start thinking about what the actual maps should be. And man, I love this Outrun theme. It's the best theme on Commodore. And you know, I think we can start thinking about how to kind of tutor the player as they progress through the game, right? Like map 1, you should have like a numerical advantage, and things should be simple and straightforward to win. And then, you know, okay, then we need to like make some maps, right, to like emphasize the tactical advantages that come with, like, you know, maybe giving yourself like fast movement or long range, or, you know, high attack power in a close range situation, or whatever like that, right? We want to create terrain that causes the player to think about the tactical implications of different power balance combinations. And then also, you know, for the hell of it, I'm gonna write a story for this thing. It's gonna be a story that would fit on 10 index cards or something. It's probably gonna be 10 sentences worth of text plus an ending screen or something. But I'm gonna do it. But yeah, I think I might soon start figuring out how to partition out this map space and simultaneously think about how we want to teach the player to play the game as they progress. The only other concept I'm thinking about adding into this game is, I think it might be interesting to introduce like a concept of hard cover that can block a line of fire, because again, right now your firing radius is just static. And it might be interesting if, you know, we were to create like an urban map where there are buildings, and, you know, you can't shoot through a building to hit the guy, right? I mean, you know, the question is like, do we want to assume that there's indirect fire, or do we want to assume that it's point-to-point line of sight direct fire? And point-to-point line of sight might, again, just be more interesting gameplay-wise, because then we can obstruct your lines of fire. So, you know, it might be cool, for example, to have like a cityscape map where there's so many buildings around that strategically, tactically, it might be a winning move to really contract your attack radius, but really punch up your attack power, because you're not going to have like long lines of fire anyway, right? I don't know. That could be cool. So that might be one more kind of core, you know, gameplay change. But I mean, as of now, the core concepts are represented in the game. It's there. But yeah, I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks for hanging out. Good seeing you all again. We'll see you next time. I might stream tomorrow. I'm not sure, but I'm off this week, so I'll be streaming this week for sure. That would add more thinking, tactical thinking, playing for the player. I think it would, and I think it would be kind of interesting because, you know, my primary mental model that I'm comparing this game against are, you know, Advanced Wars and Fire Emblem. And to my recollection, that doesn't exist in either of those games. Like in Advance Wars, there's direct and indirect fire. But I think it's the case that direct fire always has a range of 1 cell. I think that's correct. So anyway, there isn't an opportunity, to my recollection, to have something block your line of fire in a meaningful way. I think. But yeah, so yeah, we'll take a look at that soon. Probably this week. I'll be streaming a lot this week. So yeah, thanks again, guys. Hope to see you again soon. Y'all have a good night. Take care.